Good evening and welcome to the news roundup for Saturday, March 11. I am Abigail Smythe. Now, before we get into the news, please like this video, share your views in the comments, and share the video with your family and friends.
Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Now for the news in detail. A 14-year-old student was found dead in Alexandria, St. Anne, Saturday morning. He has been identified as Cashway Nevers of Inverness District in the parish. Police report that around 1:30, Nevers was found by residents on the roadway with his head bashed in. The report says Cashway was at a wake dancing when his father came and took him from the event and headed home. Shortly after, citizens contacted the police after finding Cashway's body at his gate. The citizens then went in search of his father, who they have accused of committing the act. He was later handed over to the Alexandria police. Investigations are ongoing. A 29-year-old taxi operator is now in police custody following the stabbing death of his spouse at their home in Newport, Manchester, Friday morning. The suspect, Kevin Leslie, otherwise called Nice, is of Daly's Grove, Newport, and Broughton District, Crosskeys in Manchester. The deceased woman has been identified as 28-year-old Shade Sherian Brown, a nurse employed to a private medical facility in Mandeville. A police report says around 12:15 a.m., Brown, her 11-year-old son, another child, and her common-law husband were at home when an argument developed between them. Her common-law husband reportedly used several knives to stab Brown repeatedly. The police were alerted and Brown was rushed to the hospital where she was pronounced dead on arrival. Statistics from the police show that up to March 5, Manchester recorded 11 murders since the start of the year when compared to the 5 for the corresponding period last year. 3 people were shot, one fatally, in an ice cream shop in Golden Spring Square, St. Andrew, Friday night. The attack reportedly happened in full view of several residents. Police say the dead man has only been identified as Papa and was said to be from a nearby community. It was reported that around 8:20 p.m., residents heard gunshots and saw 2 persons armed with firearms shooting at Papa, who was inside the ice cream shop. 2 other persons in the shop were reportedly shot and injured. All 3 were rushed to hospital where Papa was pronounced dead. The others were treated for gunshot wounds. Police say initial investigations have revealed that Papa was the gunman's intended target. Commander for the Hanover Police, Superintendent Sharon Beeput, has revealed that a 15-year-old boy from the parish is now in custody, charged with 7 counts of rape. It was against that background that Beeput used her monthly report to the Hanover Municipal Corporation to call on parents across the Western Parish to start playing a greater role in the lives of their children while making a special effort to monitor their day-to-day activities. She also made mention of a 13-year-old who was arrested and charged for unlawful wounding. The boy on the rape charges reportedly committed the offenses against an underage girl between October 3 and October 19 last year. His arrest and charge came following the intervention of the police, the Child Development Agency, and the Victim Support Unit. While noting that sexual offenses involving children as the perpetrators are not rampant in Hanover, Superintendent Beeput thinks one case is still too many because of the potential to create copycats, which is usually the springboard for much bigger problems. In this, she is calling on parents to pay better attention to their children. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson says the Police High Command has been forced to intensify its recruitment program. He says the force is losing an average of 400 members each year. Speaking at a town hall in Mandeville Park, Manchester, Thursday evening, General Anderson said the High Command has been enjoying success in its recruitment drive to boost its capacity as members continue to leave. The Commissioner noted that 1,250 officers were recruited last year. However, he has sought to assure the public that the Police High Command will not sacrifice its due diligence on the new recruits in order to speed up the replacement of those leaving the force. Chief Justice Brian Sykes has expressed concern that the move by the government to increase the mandatory minimum sentence for murder may reverse gains made by the judiciary to reduce the backlog of cases. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck has brought two bills to Parliament to increase the mandatory minimum sentence for murder. Under the proposed amendment, people who plead guilty to murder will have to serve a minimum of 30 years before becoming eligible for parole. Some attorneys and the parliamentary opposition have argued that the mandatory minimum sentence will not serve as a deterrent to criminals. Chief Justice Sykes says criminal elements are more likely to take their chances with the judicial system as opposed to entering a guilty plea. Over 100 customs officers will now have to wear body cameras when dealing with the public. The Jamaica Customs Agency has indicated that it intends to deploy the devices in the upcoming fiscal year. The agency says the first of its kind initiative is expected to provide a more accurate record of encounters with customers, foster improved relations, increase transparency, and improve the quality of evidence collected for decision making. Customs CEO Velma Ricketts Walker says Jamaica Customs, as a law enforcement agency, fully embraces greater accountability and transparency in their operations, interactions, and engagements with their importing and exporting publics as well as air passengers. She adds that the use of the body-worn cameras will be a useful tool to further enhance their ability to gather information, review, as well as provide evidence for investigations where necessary. Mrs. Walker also reiterates that the inclusion of body-worn cameras will help to build trust with the agency's stakeholders. In business news, the government is extending its cash incentive to people signing up for accounts with low risk and less stringent Know Your Customer (KYC) requirements. Last March, the Finance Minister, Dr. Nigel Clark, had announced that $2,500 would be deposited into the accounts of up to 100,000 people who opened these accounts by April 1, 2022. Opening the budget debate in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, Minister Clark said since the initiative was announced last year, only about 36% of the targeted number was reached. As such, the initiative has been extended for a further year. He said the first 60,000 customers who sign up for a low KYC account at any commercial bank after April 1, 2023 will receive a grant from the government of $2,500 into that account. The accounts are free of bank fees. In the region, Dominica's northeast coast will see busy days ahead following the safe arrival of the heavy equipment for the construction of the island's first international airport. The vessel carrying the machinery reached Dominica's shore on Friday, and the offloading is expected to happen in the next few days. In a tweet, Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit said the arrival of the equipment is a significant milestone in the development of the international airport and is an exciting feat to be a step closer to delivering a world-class facility. Officials involved in the development of the airport's construction are also elated at the progress that would jumpstart the airport, which has been put at a standstill for a very long time. And on the international scene, Iran and Saudi Arabia agreed on Friday to re-establish relations after years of hostility. This had threatened stability and security in the Gulf and helped fuel conflicts in the Middle East from Yemen to Syria. The deal was announced after 4 days of previously undisclosed talks in Beijing between top security officials from the two rival Middle East powers. According to a statement issued by Iran, Saudi Arabia, and China, Tehran and Riyadh agreed to resume diplomatic relations and reopen embassies within 2 months. Saudi Arabia cut ties with Iran in 2016 after its embassy in Tehran was stormed during a dispute between the two countries over Riyadh's execution of a Shiite Muslim cleric. And in sports, in her first season at the University of Arkansas, 2021 World Under-20 100-meter hurdles champion Akira Nugent made a statement at the NCAA Indoor Championships in New Mexico, setting a new national record in the 60-meter hurdles. Nugent clocked 7.72 seconds in her semifinal heat on Friday, erasing the 7.74 mark set by Michelle Freeman in 1998. The time is also a collegiate record and the fastest time in the world this year. And that's it for your news roundup for today. Please remember to like the video, leave a comment, and share the video with your family and friends. I am Abigail Smythe. Have a great weekend and see you next time.
Teach them! Hey, yo, hello! Send the message and make it reach them. It's teach them. Right here, Warlord representing.
Thank you for watching. Like the video before you go. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. And remember to share the video with your friends and family. And browse the channel for more quality content. Until next time, walk good, my friends.
Teach them!